They're building a raid tower inside the compound. It's harvesting him! And no! Oh no!
Good afternoon, Base Invaders fans. Welcome one and all to NA 7v7. I'm Kaz, and joining me today on the desk is Jamerson. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Had a fun time casting EU this morning. And now we're moving on to NA, and it's the typical take, right? EU always shows up. NA is a little bit slower. And we only have 15 teams this time around. I think we had about 21, 22 for EU, so it was definitely action packed. But this should still suffice and be a fun day.
For sure. Yeah, we say, we do see that a lot of the teams that play EU do come back for NA. They do learn from the mistakes in the first game. So hopefully we see a lot more refined combat in this second event. But we're going to go take to the air now. We're going to have a look on the map first, just to get us started.
Yeah, initially, I mean, no one's over here at the hard point. I believe this is the same map that we had for EU, and we had two teams during EU that were based around the hard point and fighting for that. But it doesn't seem like anyone actually wants to take the time to get these free points throughout the attack phase. Remember, as long as you're controlling the hard point, you will be passively accruing points. So yeah, it's just I guess everyone's just gearing up for the PvP. Speaking of everyone, we do have a grouping of the western and eastern sides of the map here, where on the western side we have maybe 5 teams based around airfield, and then the rest of the lobby, about 10 teams over on the eastern edge.
Yeah, it's going to be a West Side Story, just Jets versus Sharks. Just a nice split down the middle. Just two sides going to clash. Oh, now attack helicopter over the hard point. This would have been perfect for someone to build by.
Again, yeah, we do have someone over here actually getting those points. So that's going to be free for them for the most part. And if they can double dip onto this, but we know that when Heli's on the map, regardless of whether it's Base Invaders or if it's just on your regular vanilla server, it's going to attract some attention.
Yeah. Don't worry. So, yep. So we're just going to fix the radar quickly while the attacker is going over hard point. There is a member or 2 members down below you can see running around, but obviously, without seeing the names, a little bit useless. So give us 30 seconds just to tab onto the BR back screen and just to fix that up for us. And we're back. There you go. Radar is now summoned. So there's a little bit of a glitch for our normal radar. So we're back using the OG radar system below from the old Base Invaders days, as you can see. So yeah, it's a little bit of a throwback. But you can see fire on the rooftops here. Mike Wazowski and Baki down below in the hard point. Gain the points while they're there. 1 point every 30 seconds if they are uncontested. And the attack helicopter is a little way off in the distance. Something I called out the last session we did. I was like, oh, I think attack helicopters broke. It's not. It's been patched. This now has fleeing mechanics. So you can see it's on its way back in. Can they get it to drop, though, perfectly on the hard point? Because that would be beautiful for them.
And they almost have the back, I think, rotor down. But like we said, attack helicopter, that's going to draw some attention. And we've got Kittens along with Kai 8s. So possibly 2 other teams to come in and contest are Arut Miko, who are currently passively getting those hard points. As you can see now, they are sitting in first place. It shouldn't be that way for too long. We do have a lot of PvP going across the map right now. Habo in second place, Kozlik as well tied up with 8 points, and it looks like the majority of Team White, that's Cayenne and company, looking to come in to counter, but
Mm.
they are getting flanked.
Yeah, I wonder if we can take the camera a little bit closer in behind Baki just to see his viewpoint, just to see how he's looking. It's over his shoulder at the white team coming in.
This is a
You can
tough
see they've
spot
got
to be in if you're Team White right now, getting flanked by almost the majority of DW. Arut Miko, one of the team members of the squad that's currently controlling over at the hard point right now, actually coming into flank DW. So it might give White an opportunity to possibly get out of here or at least reposition because they're kind of just out in the open and have to rely upon their walls to make any movement.
for sure. So, for anyone watching as well, we have a first timer in terms of Griff, normally one of our casters, training him up onto the camera work and the production side of things. So, everyone's a learning experience. And in this case, the Q and the E buttons, Griff, will be the up and downs for you while you're in debug mode. So, that'll allow you to get over the shoulder. Now, 111, there you go, helicopter destroyed. Kozlik. I was going to say, wasn't expecting that, but they didn't really get enough damage in on the hardpoint area. They got distracted by the white team.
Yeah, there were a lot of distractions that came in. So Root Miko actually ends up losing out on positioning over that hard point. Kittens came in from behind, from the complete opposite direction. A very uh, opportune time to come in and actually take that over. As you can see now, the rest of the members of Root Miko spawning in and making their way
Mm.
back on over to the hard point with the
Cheeky move
helicopter
by
going
Flossie.
down wherever it is. Now the main priority is going to be this PvP and taking the hard point. Flossie flop finds a one. He's at 28 HP. He's got to be careful as Mariah wants to try and go for that chow, but Igor could also be laying in wait just on the other side of that hill to try and take him out. There it is. Igor with the peak will pick up a kill for him.
Yep, for sure. So I think we're having a little bit of trouble with the map as well as the radar. Oh, there we go. Radar came back. Perfect. So N4, that's where the helicopter went down.
Well, it went from the dead center of the map all the way up to that north side, getting distracted over by, it looks like NA control. But it is currently Kaka Perse who have positioning over. They have a nice rock formation to play off of here, which is going to make it difficult for NA control to come in and try and counter this one.
Mm.
They've even got a few stragglers. It looks like maybe baby just outside of their base, over their gate right now, kind of stopping them from getting out.
Yeah, it's got it nice and controlled. Irony for an A control. I say the rooftop. I'd love to have a look at that rooftop a second just before we follow the fights and stuff that are going to happen because there's going to be a push in a second. We should have a look at this rooftop. And there you go. So it's quite basic. I mean, I can't see. There you go, the rendering. So maybe there's a turret hidden here somewhere. And oh, you can see. There you go. Turret is just there in the alcove. So they've got turret coverage. They've got some ramps. They've got say a bit of ladders around. I don't really like. I don't know if I trust the laddering in the corners just because it could get blown off easily. But yeah, it's a solid enough roof. I'm glad they haven't gone for the wide peaks. They've got vertical walls to peek out as a second shooting floor. So they should be quite competent in a 5v5 event. It just depends how well. Yeah, so Freak coming around the back. Yarpi. I'm hoping the Kakapers are a Finnish team because they're all Finnish names. It would make sense. As Vera
And they
goes
are kind
down.
of spread out right now. They do have any
Mm,
control coming around from multiple angles currently. They wrapped wide around this base. So I like the way that they approach this fight, slowly picking them apart because you do have time to work with, right? It's whoever touches the boxes first, that end up getting the points off of the helicopter. And with it going recently down, you still have maybe 30, 40 seconds before a lot of those start extinguishing. So they slow play this one. We do have bag respawns coming out from like a Parasite right now, but they need to get rekitted and they need to try and wrestle away this control from NA. Oh, this flank though coming out from 14 onto Alpin, who seems none the wiser about it.
well, while this is being contested, the second attack helicopter is inbound. Obviously, take a little while to get over the seat, but they stack up quick and fast, these ones. NA control are just sweeping in between the Kakapesa team members. It's a lot of cat and mouse at the moment. It's so close to kicking off.
Yeah, the natural geography of this area is actually just makes for a lot of fun PvP. It looks like you've
Yeah.
got some disgusting headies to really utilize off these rocks and natural cover along with the walls that you can't place down. The crates have unlocked, but I'm not sure if anyone's actually gone to try and take it right now. Looks like the large focus is, of course, on this PvP push out for one member of Kakaperse as maybe baby now looking to make their way across the field, utilizing the tree line well. And it looks
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're going to be the first team through
Babiega.
the boxes.
Babiega making their way in. Looks like they will get the points and the loot. There's fire coming over the top of the helicopter, though. Hard pressure there from Tempo on the roof of the NA control base. And say if we can drop down just with the E key, drop down behind Babiega and just see what the pivot angle is from the rooftop. There we go. Just to say that NA control stopped shooting at it, so you can't even see like how intense the pressure is. But you can see Kekapersa have deliberately sweeped around. Yapi gets a shot in. We know they got the points. I think both members are down. I think Babiega's down too. So for all they got the points, they don't manage to escape with their lives. So Kekapersa will be able to get some of the loot. And that'll be things like, say, high quality metal, rockets, C4, explosives in general, all sorts of good stuff, ammo and stuff in these boxes. So it's worth getting the loot, but ultimately the points is what matters first.
Yeah, NA Control with their roof camping might actually be the overall victors in this. They might not get all the points, but they are at least getting some PvP naturally coming their way. And if they can walk away with all this loot, that'd be great. We do have Alpine
Mm.
Gold along with Freak in position to pick this one up. There is a
Yeah, I mean,
straggler, Yarpi, coming in, but I think he was naked, so he might just be looking to snag up a kit and maybe make a play here.
yeah. I mean, if we press the F key as well, we can expand from the top 10 to the full leaderboard just to show you who's got what. And you can see NA Control now in 10th place on 11 points. They've got one of those crates, but it just shows how it's a very steady, measured start from teams at the moment. With 17 minutes to go in the attack phase. And it's say only 26 points is what gets you to the top of the table. So this attack helicopter, the second attack helicopter coming in, those 15 points available, they are going to be huge in terms of just jumping people up this leaderboard.
Yeah, and they
And yeah,
control. They're trying their best to leapfrog these the loot from the helicopter home, but Kakaperse are not letting that happen for free whatsoever. So I like that they're still maintaining presence here, but it does look like Kakaperse might have lost out on one. A player from NA Control might be out here somewhere. But speaking of the scorelines right now, it is currently Team White in the lead with 30. Kittens, I believe, was the last team we saw controlling the hard point, slowly making their way on up. Arut Miko was the team that they ended up taking away control of the hard point from, and they find themselves within a few points of Team Kittens right now. So we could have multiple teams getting involved in that one.
so apologies again. Radar has dropped for a second. We will be getting it back up for you. Again, it is supposed to be a default thing that is on, so it's not really the production side's fault. But like I say, we'll figure out a workaround for you. Not an issue. In the meantime, though, just looking at this, I mean, White are slowly extending their lead. Kittens are keeping pace. And we've started to get a little bit of a pack behind that sort of third place through to seventh for all within touching distance. But I'm worried that White might start to steam ahead of this unless somebody gets a nice helicopter.
Yeah, I believe we should still have two. I don't know if the second one is out on the field quite yet. Didn't see the notification for it going down. Throughout all of this, though, I do have to mention that NA control, with the proximity to the down helicopter, were able to actually get a decent amount of kills. We saw two members actually on a 5 kill streak for themselves. So, at the very least, you don't get the loot, but you still get the points and kind of keep them within running once we get out of this attack phase.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So we're just going to take, again, another quick 30-second break just to put in our radar fix. And hopefully that will second time running fix it properly for good this time. So 30 seconds just to get that in place. And we should be good. And we're back. There you go. Radar, we promised it. We are fixed. We are back in the action. You can hear the second helicopter, so we're going to drop out of camera mode just to see on the radar, on the map rather, sorry, where that helicopter is. Let's have a quick mooch. Ooh, there you go. N9. So just a bit south. We've got crates as well on K7 and K9. But let's go to N9 first, have a look at the debris. See who's got that one down.
Yeah, so we
Miko.
got Arut, Miko here, Flossie, and possibly another third team. There were three bases basically in the vicinity of this one. Mariah is the one in position to possibly take it, but he is starting to get contested. Someone in the tree line, that's going to be from Team White. Wyvern is here. They're currently in second place, tied with Kittens, who ostensibly have control over the hard point. So this is where White can possibly keep up with them, especially with the PvP that's coming their way.
Yeah, definitely. And this is what we were saying before, though. Was like White were looking like they might run away with it. Kittens have reacted, and Kittens have now taken the hard point. And I mean, I still think somebody could have built by the hard point. That would have been the easiest way. But for now, obviously, people have contested for more of the monuments, wanting to make sure they get their materials.
This is a difficult
Yes.
position to like try and defend Heli from because take a look, it's basically in a valley, right? You got high on either side of it. Flossie has position over it. Flossie Saint is up there, Whites as well, but now Whites are actually getting flanked. It looks like by Arut Miko, who are now pouring
Yeah.
out of their base. All five members looking to contest this one.
Yeah, and it's I say this would definitely be the kill box. This would be where you want people to be to get the punishment on them. And we can see, let's say we've just zoomed out a little bit. You can see the steepness of the slopes on either side, and it is it's a tough walk down that. So people braving down into the middle will have to go very quick and carefully. As soon as that fire goes out, pushing sooner might be a bit tricky. You can see all of the Wyvern team here. Sorry, the little white team. It's habits within normally in these teams. They've won base invaders so many times as well. It's hard to not call them the Wyvern team. But yeah, they've got this a good position. They've got some vantage point. They've got an easy path down that's got a fair bit of coverage in terms of like the rock slope below. I mean, if we ignore these lot and just gently follow the camera down the slope towards Kayate below us, you can see the rock formations down here that will allow them just to dip out of cover.
Yeah, for Rumiko, they're going to try and utilize the fact that their base is relatively close and they'll be able to roof camp this one. But currently, they're facing a lot of resistance on the way out. A lot of members of Team Flossie, because their base is so close as well, in the natural position to try and kind of stop a Root Miko from pushing out. So Flossie can just utilize this to get some free PvP, get some free PvP kills, as they are currently sitting at the bottom side of the leaderboard. Speaking of Flossie, by the way, they had an interesting base design for EU where they basically built up to the highest of stability and height limit for builds. And it gave a lot of teams a pause. This time around, it looks like they went for a much wider base instead. So once we get to the raid phase, I'd like to take a look at their approach for NA base invaders.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm looking at the team in the chat because I can see James is in there, as is Big Pappy T, Blop, and then Zero. I'm not seeing a fifth member there, so I don't know if they've had a Discord issue or they're only playing with 4 players. But that might be why they've changed base design. It might be that they can't sustain the tool build, and they would have played that twice in a row. So you never know these things, but we'll keep an eye out to see how many members there are. But there are some good players in today. I mean, Team Habbo in 6th place. That's Dylan Zito's team. Like that's a sweaty team of Dylan, Cougar, Lauter, Ludovici, and Omega. They are going to be dangerous. Like I know they've not really popped off just yet, but yeah, it's anyone's take at this point, considering who's in there.
Yeah, the last
I'm
time I
just
got to
looking.
see Dylan Zito and Lauta and them, I believe, was for um, Team Battles 4, Rust Rivals. So it's great to see the Latin American teams. I believe they were also in our EU event earlier today under Team LATAM. So
Yeah,
great to see them getting some more experience. I imagine, with probably Team Battles 5 just around the corner, they're looking for some more practice.
yeah, for definite. We look around like 9th place DDWW. That's Joker's team, so that's an RNC member. Veteran of the Base Invaders events. These people are dotted around. Just there's a lot of experience in most teams, Kittens, his Deathwings team, so there's a reason they're top of the thing. They've played under that name a lot. Kittens, Nikita, Deathwing, KK, Mango, and I'm
It's
not sure who
disgusting.
else.
That's a disgusting team. Urut Miko, though, it looks like they were able to actually win out a lot of this PvP and push their way all the way up. And you were talking about that rock formation actually providing a decent amount of coverage around this helicopter. So they'll pick up a few of these crates, it seems, or at the very least, maybe get out with the loot.
Honestly, I'm so surprised. The rock coverage was there in my mind for White to take advantage of, and Miko have just walked up to it and gone, "Yeah, cheers this." I'm not saying it's not contested. It's just that I see there you've got Vaxia now coming around the side. That's what I expected him to do early on. I
Yeah.
really expected this to be, a lot sooner, and so that Miko couldn't make that push over. But yeah, they've cleaned up. So GG to them. They will get the points. Currently in 4th place on 45 points. That might be them fixed. I'm not sure if they got any more points to count from that. But that's got them right back in contention. As we see the other attack helicopter, number 3, in the distance. So let's jump out of debug mode into our camera body and just move ourselves a little bit further over to make sure we got the radar. Oh wow, it hovers now.
Yeah, that's a scary sight. Instead of going for wow, it's like a strafing rocket run. I've never seen that. What? That's crazy. Usually, just like dive bombs your base while shooting out those rockets. So that's definitely a sight to behold. For Team White, they're trying to get up on the rooftop now, and they will go ahead and take out the helicopter. Would love to see if we've got any other bases in the area to try and contest this one over by Dome. And looks like no. So the team that has priority on this one is going to be Team White, but this one is still out in the open.
Yeah, no, it's a nice one for White. It's a bit of a distance out, but equally, the coverage, somebody will have to go a long way around. Other than that, White can just go straight from their base. So I see Vaxia going straight over with his Scrappy. Don't seem to be taking anyone with them. Unless they're going up on the roof. But I say Jeff.exe getting some shots in. Vaxia's gone down. And the Heli's gone.
Minus 1250. Gonna keep that in the ledger.
Yeah, so White not getting what they wanted. I wonder if they were just bringing it inside so it didn't get shot at, which is hilarious.
That's what it was.
Got shot at and crashed and burned. So, yeah. I mean,
it went down fast. That was fast. That was incredibly fast.
Well, there was a lot of shots in on the pilot so quickly. It was a good bit of shooting from Flossie. And as quick as they came, they disappeared as well. So White starting to take this seriously and push out one by one. Actually coming back out the gate as well. So they should make a human chain, I think, over here and have it covered. I do want to go just have a quick look at the hard point if we can, please, Mr. Observer Man. Just to see how Kittens are getting on, if anyone's contesting them, if they're still there. Ooh, there you go now. There you go.
So yeah, DW are here to at least contest, so no one is actually making progress.
Let's get nice and down behind Joker. See what we can see with Joker.
But I think they might have just cleared that last member of Kittens out. So DW have taken that away from Kittens, who were passively securing all of these points. But good on DDW for showing up to at least stop them and not allowing them to get all these free points. DDW currently in 10th place with 30. With the remaining time, they could pick up a decent amount of points at the very least and utilize this position to get some free PvP kills. The only issue is that here in fives, if you put 2-3 members on the points, that's the majority of your team. With 4 minutes to go, someone needs to be out there scouting, looking for bases to try and size them up and see who you're actually going to go after. But for now, I wonder if they have a game plan for the raid phase.
Yeah, well, speaking of sized up, they were getting lit up there by Maria. Miko making moves, and you can see Femboy Uwu. It's a great name in the background there. So they may. Oh, we've gone under the ground. There we go.
Maria, I believe they were playing under Femboy Beamer during EU, but
makes sense.
Weren't doing too much beaming back then, so they might want to actually swap back to Femboy Beamer.
Yeah, the irony. Didn't kill enough people in EU, swap names, now they're doing the beaming. Maybe it's the pressure's off, you never know. But I would say some good kills there, though. Femboy got into a perfect spot to get the double tap. So someone in the distance. Can't see who. Might be all the way up there by that wooden wall in the very distance. Let's have a quick speedy look. There you go. Eric Miko come up
Wow.
there. Is that their
How do you
base
even
on the other side
spot
of
that?
that? Let's just raise up a little bit. Yes, it is.
It
So that's
is
what it is.
actually, yeah, yeah.
Yep, trailing. I mean, hidden in the tree line, which is quite nice. But yeah, trailing over hill, down the fields below, and on yonder to the hard point. But it's about time. But we've got 3 minutes left. Kittens are in the lead on 66 points. Eric Miko 7 points behind. Whoever tops the attack phase does get a bonus 10 points. In the meantime, though, Griffin's brought us nicely back to maybe baby. 5th place team,
Wow.
47 points. All over this attack helicopter. It's the final attack heli. We've already seen 2 go. And this is Nerm's team. Again, another veteran of Base Invaders. Seasoned hand, knows what they're doing.
And it's just so surprising because we were talking about how good of a position White were in, with their base being the only base actually close enough to really see this helicopter from their rooftop. They were in early position. I don't know how maybe we're able to move in, but you can see even that forward position for Nicer is just going to completely stop anyone from White from being able to get here. And honestly, they have a nice run to the coastline to get out with this loot for free with no other bases to try and contest them along the way out. Another nice clear
Yeah.
coming up from Maybe Baby, and this is just a free secure until Vax actually finds a kill. So there might be an opportunity now for White to try and stop Maybe Baby.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw White were coming out one by one. That might be how they got caught out. They didn't move over in enough numbers at first. Maybe Baby moving as a group, perhaps, and just, because you're one by oneing it, you just keep poking and playing the low numbers. So maybe Baby have got some good coverage there. They've got everyone pinned down. Flop here again. I've already called it flop before. Jamerson, he managed to pop a couple of players out of the way with a bit of hit and run tactics. So this might be Flossie's game. Might be not so much their game to win it because it's Flossie. Let's be fair, but a bit of the guerrilla warfare that might play nicely because so many teams are going to get so committed. Kittens are not going to play guerrilla warfare. Deathwings gang with Nikita and co. They are going to go straight up to raiding. We've got 1:10 to go. They're just going to go hard on fighting. So Flossie might cheese it a bit.
Yeah, that's a small mistake to make, but with a minute to go, it's actually compounded. It's actually a pretty big mistake if you lose control over your compound right now and you can't walk out of your base right now. Someone goes for the peak, but they go in one by one on that. So not completely coordinated, but there we go. Drop down. It's going to be White to clean it up and then close up their base. But that's enough distraction coming up from Flossie to allow maybe Baby to get out with the majority of this loot for free.
Yep. And so 34 seconds to go now. Kittens have a 7-point lead over Kozlik. Miko haven't managed to close that gap. If anything, they've let it get wider. And maybe Baby at 1 point off then there. So, I mean, they're still in a good position for the attack phase. They've got a nice heft of points. Obviously, how are we saying that last place team? Chipapaki? Yeah, we'll say that. Chipapiki.
Yeah, Chipapiki. There we go. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank
We
you.
got there. We're not all stupid, just mostly.
Yeah. Hopefully, we won't have to say it too often. During EU,
they might
went
get
down in the
eliminated
first-
straight away.
They were actually during EU in the first minute. I believe they went down. So didn't get much practice in that name. But here we go. We are headed into the raid phase, and the first red circle unlocks. We're going to see. It looks like it's going to be NA control on the defense.
Yeah, NA control on defense. We've also got boom north of the map, though. So if there's nothing going on here quickly, we will shift up the map. Because it looks like, Kaka Persik is in trouble. Let's go to K2 one first, actually, at the very north. Let's just see who's up here. Because if this is Chipapiki. No, it's Power. 12th place.
Yeah.
They have no compound, though. No compound. Yeah,
no compound. The base looks...
Let's see where they go.
This is not a Base Invaders base.
No, this is... oh, wow, doors open. There you go. Straight in. Cut through the wall. We can see it.
Oh, wow. There's
TC in there. Is TC in there? Because they might have got it.
So it was a 2x2 core with all the way jump ups. Yeah, not much
TC,
here.
That might be TC. I mean, they're bombing through the other side as well. Let's just loop around a little bit, see what Lil Pic's bombing. Nice and steady, does it? So that's
it looks like...
This is bad, this is going to be... We're going to find TC in a second. Griffin's going to get a very easy first TC.
This definitely looks like a vanilla base converted for Base Invaders. So shows a lack of experience, especially when you don't have a compound. That's the first indicator right? Having a compound is so incredibly
Ooh,
strong when it comes
careful,
to
Griff.
base invaders here.
It's all good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as we loop back down, trying to find our opening again. Where were we? It's one of these doors. There you go.
There we go.
So just to be careful. You follow it up the stairs a bit though now. Or is it not that one they're bombing yet? I still think TC's in there. But
You have to remember that like a lot of our players are used to a certain meta when it comes to base invaders, but
oh,
never
there you
mind, there
go.
it is. There
So
weren't
you
too
can
many
scoop for the
doors in this
floor.
base.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's poor. So we sort of missed the bomb itself, but we can see the remnants. There you go. First TC taken, first elimination, power are out. And I mean, this serves a purpose though from our point of view of enter base invaders NA. It's so competitive trying to get into EU for sure, but entering NA, there's team spaces to get in, at least another 5-6 teams you could get in. And so there's some teams for the taking like that they need to learn quickly. So you can definitely get in and cause some trouble here. As long as you're a half competent team, bit of coordination going, you can do it.
It looks like possibly a raid coming out from E Stripers onto the DDW squad. They do
Yeah.
have just a natural advantage with how close their base is and how much height coverage they have on them. Like that's a huge advantage in terms of the roof angle that E Stripers will bring here. They don't have a raid platform down from the looks of things quite yet, as they're looking for a better way to approach this one, clearing up the outside members of the defenders. So each stripers at least, slowly whittling away at them. If they can get them on timers, we'll have a easier go of things. You can see that Ian brought down a 2 HP from Toretto here, and there's the first rocket
Ooh.
coming up from each striper. I'm so lucky. This is still a little, I don't know, iffy for me coming up from each stripers.
So they're all just dancing around these walls. Luckily, they don't last too long, 8-minute lifespan at most. But yeah, this strikes me as one of those sort of next door neighbor grudge matches we're going to see throughout the tournament. So we might, if there's another raid on, we might go to that and come back to this just to give them a chance to warm up. Because at the moment, we're just trading initial blows. This is just a few shots across the bow. There you go, out in the west coast. I don't know east and west. It's hard work. Chipapiki kittens. So these are the ones. These are our tournament favorites. Kittens, Deathwing's team, because he's won how many Base Invaders events? I mean, there's one point he won like 8 in a row. So let's follow them down gently. Use our slow-mo skills to make sure we don't go through the wall, sort of thing.
They are well in this base right now.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if they're just no doors
We
or
are.
if they cleared them all out, but you can see how quickly. Yeah, no. They just actually went through all the doors. Yeah, you can see the
Wow.
remnants of them on the ground. So very short work being done by Kittens here.
Yeah. And I mean, I do quite like this inside base style. So as much as I was giving Chipapiki some trouble, like this style is so, it's almost Hall of Mirrors, but with doors.
Yeah.
It's so obnoxious, and I've said it about a bit of skins and stuff before, where by blending in, making it an awful corridor of these, say, doors and colors that are very similar. You're very difficult to find your bearings. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Zoom. Let's get forward a bit on that one. We can get closer. There we go. Maybe not that close. Come on.
So still an improvement for
Oh,
Chipapiki.
no!
They were not the first TC. They were the second TC this time around. They lasted 5 minutes longer than they did in EU, which is a 500% improval rate than in EU. Over here by Bobera, though, you can see that Habbo have already made their way on in. They've taken out the compound on their side, and it looks like a second team is looking to come in to counter this raid.
I was going to say, I'm a big fan. Obviously, we all talk about like games like Cyberpunk and stuff, and there are loads of stuff like Cyberpunk in terms of the themes and steampunk and stuff. But one of the ones that's really getting quite popular are like Solarpunk and Biopunk, and this has got that vibe of sort of like eco-friendly, design architecture. I like the fact it's green. It looks alive. And that's as RP as you're getting from me. Now we're going to blow holes in it.
I was like, is this a Minecraft stream? Like, what are we on here? I love the cottagecore vibe build we've got going on here.
This would be a great building for hobbits to live in.
Yeah, all right, pearlescent
unfortunately, But unfortunately, we're going to kick the living daylights out of it. We've blown a massive chunk open on the side here as Kuga goes in for Habbo. Oh, crunched. So,
All right, Papa actually coming in for the counter, it looks like, and being fairly successful and taking
who's
out
this
a lot
sorry,
of the
can we just
members
look
of
at-
Habbo.
we just back up to look at the top of the base because the names do fly over the top. Bobera's base. Okay, so 11th place Bobera getting raided. By 4th place Habbo. Flossie have gone.
Wow, what?
That must
White
have been
ends
the
up
raid
taking
slightly
out
south of
Flossie,
us.
and Flossie had a ridiculous base in EU where they had 7 successful raid defenses and lasted all
Oh,
90 minutes. Oh boy, we got Kittens coming in. So the
oh
counter is looking
boy.
to counter the counter. And we have 3 teams involved in this raid now. Kittens showing up in force. Gotta have
We got 3
someone
teams raiding
building
a
the back
base
line.
that's not their base. Bobera just aren't here. Papa, I mean, they are now, but so we've got Bobera, we've got Papa. We had who else did we have?
Habbo.
Habbo. And now Kittens are here. So and Habbo's still here. Sunshine's there, I can see it. Sunshine gets what I'm about. We're about the the cottage core. Let's go.
It's kind of ridiculous how quickly Kittens moved on to their next raid. Goes down to just the experience and the leadership
Yeah.
of this
And
squad. Nikita always just leading the charge with his team, moving on to the next raid within just a few minutes.
And it is interesting because obviously team build as well, because Dylan Zito used to be team MVP back in the day. They were the Michael Schumacher from F1 of Base Invaders. They were just a lean, mean winning machine. And Dylan is still pops off, the LATAM team. They are just good players. There's no doubt in that. They are PvP wizards and they cause some trouble. But the closest team I've seen to the MVP style and of aggressive raid move, just bully is Kittens. They are just very efficient in these 5 and 6 man events. So I'm interested to see whether they can do. And you look at them.
I think Kittens are wiped. I don't know if they actually got a raid platform down and beds down. I think they only have 1 player left. He's bleeding out on the ground, so that might actually just be over for them. They do have a few respawns.
They've got a couple the other side. They have got some people the other side. So I don't know. Maybe they've got split up. Yeah, maybe they were trying to do both. They were trying to put beds both sides and maybe split their objectives too much.
Oh, they have bags down over here, and then we're trying to move around over to the coast side, so they would have natural cover from their flank, from the coast. But
it's a little bit
now
strange.
they're
Oh, hello. It's on the horse.
They went from Scrappy to Horse real quick here for Team Kittens, as they've got a semblance of a rekit going on. For Bobera, they love all the counters coming in. That buys them time. It looks like all of Bobera are up right now on the rooftops here, and they are starting to clean up.
Yep, no, I mean, it's a tricky one because Habbo are based so close. You can't help but go, well, actually, they can just run back very easily. The difficulty was for teams like Papa to come in. And Barbera, to be fair to them, they are holding their rooftop quite well. They have got the discipline to say, yeah, we can stay up here. I don't see any open beds on the roof, which is, I mean, you've got the one there, but really, so a lot of teams have been building an outside edge, having the turret coverage, and then a square of beds or boxes in the middle as the go-to spawn site, loot site, and working from
having
that.
that open air core.
Yeah, so maybe it's just a little bit below. Maybe they've got it in the next floor below, but still, they are coming back regularly. They are, even with the damage to the base, they haven't lost control just yet. And again, we can see there is an access up there, but it's a good coverage point. He's checking his points as well. He's just keeping a look, making sure that they know they've got that gap. And I do wonder with the rocket launchers coming up, are they trying to blow out build points?
So yeah, Papa are just inside right now, while Bobera are actually busy dealing with the outside people, but they got to deal with the inside
Gotta
first.
go for
Habbo
wide.
came in and
Ooh.
actually flanked Kittens from the other side, and they're dealing with that. And so we're going from 3 teams raiding down to 2 as Habbo are about to clean up the raid platform of Team Kittens.
Yeah. And that will make sense about why Kittens have had to go the other side. Habbo have clearly gone, you know what? We don't want you here. Go away. Now, Nikita is holding that corner, but again, low HP, you can see the white. Just stabbing med up.
I think I just heard someone from Papa go down inside of that base. Ooh, Kittens Sunshine is just camping, waiting for the respawns, but it looks like Habbo will go ahead and clean them up. That's going to be the raid platform going down, along with these walls. Great play coming out from Habbo, just completely countering Kittens here. I mean, it was Kittens initially that came in to look for the counter, but man, that was a very quick response from everyone involved here. Throughout all this, Bobera still looking to defend. They've got at least all their players alive in the base right now, but they still need to get down to the ground floor of the core and start dealing with these Papa members.
Yeah, but Ash has just had such a free reign down there. I mean, they've managed to get an extra member inside as well. Fairhead on the outside, very good cover, a strong shooter in the base Invaders tournaments. So they clearly are a resolute team, but it was Wide was in there for so long on their own. Ash has come in since. Then the Russian members gone in. Now we've got this. So it's starting to really pour in. And if we sneak inside, you can see they're starting to open these doors up. They're going to start to make the square connect as a thoroughfare. And as soon as they get that control, really, it might be game for the Bavaria team. But in that sense, I'm hoping for their sake they've got TC high up because they need, to be that carefree about it lower down. You'd hope they've got the TC up high, and it's not just ignorance.
Yeah, it does seem like an indicator of that at the very least. Fairhead actually tossing out a C4 into the middle of nowhere for whatever reason. Maybe he thought he can actually reach the walls out there, but
I mean, I wonder if he's trying to stop Cougar coming in below. Maybe it was just like a grenade throw in that sense.
Work almost like a claymore or something. Hopefully someone just walks into it. Okay, here's Habbo. They've made their way inside the base now, looking to counter Papa. Oh, clean up onto Dimitri there. Papa, they've got the numbers advantage as they try to push it wide. Look at it peek down onto one of the Habbo members. I think they might have actually cleaned him up. So Papa should have full control. Yeah, if we have 4 members of Habbo outside, Papa almost the entirety of the team inside of Bobera's base right now. And you can see now the rockets are coming out for Papa as they continue this raid.
I was going to say, did you ever see the film Nobody? It was a few years old now with Bob Odenkirk from Breaking Bad.
No, I have not.
It's a great action. It's a bit John Wick in that style.
The Odenkirk one, right?
Yeah. It's a great action film, but there's a bit where he's got a claymore and a riot shield, and I was like, "That's so cool. That'd be so good for Base Invaders. Just running around like a horrible troll. Just anyone gets near you, boom." I was like, we like variety kills. We don't get enough kills of people with say pistols, and obviously we had to ban grenades for being spammed because people were just trolls. But shotguns, pistols, jackhammer kills. We like the variety. So if Face Punch want to build us some new styles of weaponry, like a battle axe perhaps, or
yeah, I mean you mentioned the riot shield, but hopefully never a riot shield, because I feel like every game I've played that had a riot shield, I mean going back to CS 1.6.
Yeah,
when they added the riot shield, it was like the worst thing in the world, the absolute worst thing in the world. There was just like nothing you can do about it. So people would just hold it up, run down.
Yeah, maybe a roadside riot shield could be quite fun. So something is going to be moderate armor that'll buy you a little bit of coverage, maybe like against a SAR or a Tommy for a minute, and then
it might work better in Rust because of the durability and how quickly weapons can get destroyed and stuff. So maybe riot shield can work.
Yeah. Now we're seeing Habbo move back in. The living. C4 in the wall. Who's that on the helicopter outside? It's Kittens.
Is it Kittens again? It's Kittens again. It's Kittens again.
A bit of elevation here.
It's Kittens again.
Have you ever tried to tell a kitten no? Because kittens don't,
and it does not work.
So
all right, let's take back our raid platform. I like how they just make a new one instead of just taking this one over.
I mean, to be fair though, what I do like is the fact I gave them such a eulogizing speech about how efficient they are at raiding, how effective they are. How, they are the next coming of MVP, and it's like, yeah, they've been wiped, Kaz. Sorry.
All right, man. We have round 2 of Kittens versus Habbo. Habbo, though, actually, a lot of them getting cleaned up inside of the base right now. They just spawned in outside beds, and they're trying to run their way on in. I think they're running in naked right now. They are cleaned up by Kittens, who are now approaching the base. A lot of the work has already been done for them, thanks to the contributions of Papa and Habo. I don't even see too many members of Papa inside. Ash seems to be possibly on the roof along with one more member of Papa.
A bit of cat and mouse, appropriate for kittens. Dimitri just hiding downside of the court. And again, as much as I was being very nice about the cottagecore look, it does blend in though as well with the colouring to make, you know, at a glance, because we see from some of the POV footage we get from players doing submissions, when you see how quickly they look around, when it's all very samey looking, it's very easy to miss one person cowering in a corner and just like getting you with the surprise tactics. So, you know, the fact they've been consistent with the colours and not gone for a rainbow base is at least something, because we've seen a lot of people playing with the new shipping. They're not. They're trying to blow down there, though, below us. Let's dip back into the floor. They've got.
I mean, we
control
were
of the roof
talking
now,
earlier,
kids.
you were at least, about how so much of the work has already been done on the lower floor. And without that kind of urgency coming out from Bobera to get down there and clean that one up, might have been an indicator of how possibly the TC is a little bit higher up. There are a few more doors down here, but it looks like they lead outside more than anything else. So it might just better serve Team Kittens to continue the work here on the top side of the base.
Yeah. Say Griffin just carefully avoiding any rooms we shouldn't be in, but we're back on the shooting floor. We're good. The inside track. And you can hear the boom just to our left. I wonder, is that inside or is that compound? Sorry. Oh, that's donuts. There you go. It's down below. Sorry. Yeah, they're blowing down below. Is that Papa? What, Papa was in the doorway. So get him. So they are trying to do what I said earlier about bringing the ground floor square into play of being able to control the thoroughfare. I like they've got fake TCs. I do enjoy that. Having
I think Habbo might have cleared out Kitten's raid platform once again. They are on top of it. The beds are gone. Oh my god. Oh, they actually had the time to just clear out the beds with swords. Did we bring any extra beds, guys? Habbo just being the consistent thorn in the side, and they did bring extra beds.
See, this is a raid team that adapts. They overcome.
We've got ladders. We've got beds. We're good.
How much do you bench? Yeah, well, I carry 20 beds. Deal with it. It's just
here comes more members of Habbo to just grief once again.
It's so tricky because again, Habbo. It's almost
they
like
don't
they've
need
got
to
a cat
this.
slap. Just the cat keeps coming in. Habbo just keep coming behind, going, "I want to kill this." Sorry. At this rate, Kittens might be better off just raiding Habbo to then raid Bobera.
Yeah, let Papa do whatever they want to the Bobera base, right? And they just go after Habbo at this point. I'm wondering, like, how much boom they might have actually lost from all of this. Like, how much were Habbo able to steal from Kittens at this point? But
Kittens, Bobera doing the right thing of tossing it because it stops anyone using it then, and that gives them more chance to raid defense. I mean, Bobera currently they're only on 48 points on 11th place, but they are still being attacked. They will be raid defense points waiting to kick in at the moment. So in that sense, they will jump. They will. I'm very confident they will jump over NA control. It just depends whether they can rebuild, because we can see here that's a stone roof tile. Might be deliberate. Might be an indication they maxed out their materials on this build. So you never know. So it's just quieting just a little. Kittens Nikita is up top. I'm wondering where that Barbarian member is, just because they might come behind Nikita, you see. And that door in the center square, that would be the one I come through. The shotgun trap's going off, so they're still, Kittens are definitely still contesting. Although Papa inside as well. So let's have a little peek down here, see if we can find.
Yeah, we got Ash in here with a few other members of Kittens. You kind of have to keep someone outside. It looks like it's going to be Untitled having to play the anchor for them, because Habbo have just been a consistent threat. Ash with a nice 2 kills there on
somebody's putting
this
doors
counter.
back on.
Yeah.
Let's go down through the floor though, because I can see the boom below us. Sorry, or I did. There we go. I was right. I did see it.
Oh, No,
No,
I got baited.
that's why they keep baiting us with the fridges.
The
They
fridge.
keep doing it, but I love it. It's top shithousery. Just you thought you got TC? No, it's a fridge.
It could bait out an extra like C4 or something, and maybe slowly just get rid of people's boom at that point. I mean, a C4 or fridge for a C4, you take that trade every day when you're a defender at this point. Habo, oh,
Wow.
Peterson coming in,
Did
getting
he even
a
notice
kill for
him?
the defenders.
Oh, Tiratuga have gone to Kozlik. That's another one out then. Only on 13 points. So, but our lowest 4 teams have been eliminated. So it's nice we've got it in that sense.
I think that's what Kozlik's second TC. So half their points coming from TCs so far. That's 80 for
Yep.
them. And there's
Oh,
Bobera finally going down kittens. So it looks like round 2 will
it
work
would have been
out
up
for
high
them.
then, yeah.
That's 2
So,
TCs for our top teams right now. That's
yeah.
Kittens and Kozlik with
So it
2
was
TCs
floor above, I think,
apiece.
Griffin. Might have been this floor. I think it was. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't there. Maybe you were right. So, but either way, Kittens have got the raid off successfully after all that. And yeah.
Now it's a
Don't
fight
stress it.
over the remaining loot, basically,
Yeah.
in this
Let's
base. Will
swing
Papa just
ourselves
give it up
outside.
freely to Kittens?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if Kittens are going to. Is it worth staying? They're top of the leaderboard by 40 points. Do they need the boom? You know,
And I
is
think
it
there's
not?
only like what 3 more bases on this side of the map, so it is pretty sparse in terms of competition. Habo is still here, Papa relatively close as well. So Kittens can move on to either Papa or Habo if they want to.
Yeah, let's go find a new fight though, and see what we're about. So who have we got here then?
It's DW and
yeah, Arut Miko causing
I
some
think
trouble.
E Striper was the other team. Yeah, E Striper on
Yeah,
the hilltop. I
but
don't
NA
know if they were.
controller on them though. So
Ah,
spin around. That's what it is. They're defending against NA control. Is it? Oh no, they just near or NA controller to attack. Who have we got on the radar? I need to see who's lit up.
I feel
Who's
like
on the
they're
map?
just they're maybe like firing rockets from their rooftops or
It
something.
might be. Yeah, it might just be poking each other, which
Yeah,
is.
just playing worms.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy worms. It's a fun little game to kill an hour or so. So who have we got over here then? Kakapersa. There we go. Maybe baby. So 5th place defending against 7th.
Nice little setup for them
Yeets a
to
rocket.
just get some free rockets in.
Be a shame if Kittens turned up and took your beds.
Give it about a minute. Yeah, the distance that they're raiding from makes it very difficult for them to focus fire the rockets. Ooh, Kakaperse actually pushed out. That's going to be Kisa cleaning up one.
Yeah, I did hear the
Forcing.
bolt action.
Yeah, maybe baby. They got Baba Yaga up top, up forward, Nicer and Joseph all trying to push in.
So Baba Yaga's closing in on that compound edge, just lurking around, trying to cause trouble for Kakapersa. And I really want to try and pronounce that name, but equally, I might get shot by the Finnish government for doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to attempt the finish. I mean, they are some deadly snipers from history. From what I know.
Well, he just got shot, so. But then he wasn't trying to snipe, so maybe it was short range, not long range. You might be right.
They've ended up losing out on their roof, unfortunately, so they'll no longer be able to really challenge from there. You can see the angles have a lot of it has been taken away.
Yeah.
Nurm is going to try and ladder up, but I think Yarpa hurt him as he instantly responded to get over to that side.
Yeah, ran straight over that triangle to peek down. Let's have a peek at the roof. Let's just get ourselves up there and see what Yarpy can see from up and looking down. So it's a nice rooftop, to be fair. This is more what I was thinking of in terms of you've got your triangle peaks, you've got your beds as a rooftop operating point. So they are in a good defense position. I wonder how much damage it would take before they can't repair it. But at the moment, it looks like they could easily patch up that gap in the wall.
Yeah, just someone needs to bust out the hammer. But Kaka they have a few members outside right now. You can see Joseph going for the flank onto that platform. Man, Yarpi is putting
Yeah.
in work for the defenders here. One man
Someone's
army.
flanked on it, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, I
Someone
believe
on
that's
maybe the beds.
Joseph.
Let's go to the Joseph on the beds. Oh, he's gone. Full stop. Got rid of Joseph. So they got close. Joseph's back up again though. Let's go into Joseph. See what Joseph can do.
Yeah, you can see us well for maybe baby. They're actually spawning on inside bags to make it back over to the platforms that are a lot of them are just on timers. So there's a huge opportunity here for Kakaparase to push out, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. 16 now pushing out from that compound. Joseph is on top of that raid platform. There are AKs for him to pick up. He does seem to have a gun. Now he just needs to clear out the beds.
Yeah, I mean the wall's crumbling. Here's the oh, that was a bad jump. Bad timing.
He's going to
Seek
try
around
and
to him.
crouch forward, but that's a great defensive
Oh.
setup coming out from Nicer and Nerm, both peeking from either end of that wall. And it seems like opportunity squandered from the defenders here, which they had that moment, they had that opportunity to push out, and now they've pretty much lost it. We'll see if they still have, I believe, who was it? Yarpi on the rooftop, and he is not there. Who ended up taking out? Was it a turret?
I think so, yeah. Where is it?
Oh, okay, there it is. There it is. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Where is it? It's right in the open. In fairness, we both wear glasses. It's to be expected from us. But yeah, the Kakapersi are holding the ground there, maybe baby, and making some good progress towards the compound, but that's about it. It feels like one mistake will let them in or take them away. They're quite evenly matched teams.
Oh, Nerm just hopping out of nowhere there. I thought he was actually further off into distance, but no, he was right on top of him to clear that one out. And again, that opportunity that Kakaverse had to push out of their base is basically gone, just squandered because they decided to push out one by one to go for that raid platform instead of just moving together as a group. So great bounce back from Maybe Baby as they want to try and continue this raid. Close up that door, Kisa. There we go. That's at least one door that remains
it's
closed.
a great kill from Yarpi, though.
And Yarpi is just putting in so much work for the defenders here.
Yeah, Joseph's back up high as well now. They're just trying to defend their keep. I do want to come back here in a second. I'd like to go and see who's getting boomed nearby, because somebody's getting a bit of a pummeling. There we go. So DDW are getting double-ended here. Let's have a look. So we've got Arat Miko, got a raid platform there. And then we've also got the raiding coming in from White as well.
And you have E-Stripers on the hilltop that can just move camp this entire thing. So they're basically being sieged on all sides, but their peaks and their ramps on the rooftop actually still surviving. So this is a good sign, at least for near the end here, to try and put a stop to the raid. But which one do they try and focus on? They have basically 3 attackers coming in with a Root Miko and White on basically opposite ends of this one.
So E-Striper putting some damage across. Crossfire is helpful, but yeah, at the moment DDW not looking too troubled by this. I do wonder though that I'm not a big fan of the roof style though, and I wonder if people might leave it on purpose because they're going to stick their head up above it and get shot. Like it's probably more encouraging for them to try and like, oh, the roof's safe, stick your heads up and get hit. But Igor inside now. Have you got C4, Igor? Because I don't see it.
No C4, no rockets, so
no hope.
It looks like it's
no points.
Scouting more than anything else. But if you can at least control the inner compound, that could be good. Never mind. Kai 8. It's Kai 8 doing Kai 8 things, taking them out. And
they are
like
blowing
you
the
said,
side of that wall.
When you've only got the roof to peek from, when all you can expose is your head, well, your head's going to get hit. And
but even though they haven't got any angle to cover down on that gap in the wall, so where the white team are perfectly hitting now, they can't see down at who would be in that. So the second they loop into the wall and ladder in, they're out of line of sight within a matter of seconds.
And it's compounded by the fact that E-Stripers has had a consistent roof camper the entire time. So that rooftop isn't as secure as it looks. So White now starting to get the pummel on the side of this base. And taking a better look at it, there isn't even a proper
Yeah,
like shooting floor.
it's it, it,
It's
it does make me laugh because E-Stripe aren't really doing a lot. But every time DDW tries to defend, E-Stripe is there going AK-47 goes brr. just lighting them up every time they try and defend from the roof peeking. So it makes it very difficult, and I suppose it encourages you to get out on the floor and fight away from them. But if White are sensible, yeah, as they have been, they've played that perfectly in terms of using the opposition to cover you as you go in. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. They've utilized that. They're now booming their way through the second floor. Joker just mullered there, gun down in the street. There's a
I think
lot
he
of
was able
doors
to
here
take out
available.
one from White at least. So that's a one for
Yeah, I
one
think he managed to
exchange.
peek out the door, but here we go then. Core time.
Yeah, just drill on through. You've lost out on some presence on the inside, so you might as well just start spamming the C4 and try to make some headway here. Someone opening the door for Vax. Does it allow him upper access? No, but there are two garage doors, or at least a garage door for him to get through.
Yep, so we've cored a bit. And I think the point, like you say, is just to really open up from inside that court. Just give lots of avenues for hiding.
I'm pretty sure I'm hearing rockets coming from Striper's base, like from their roof. I think
It sounds like it
with
now, yeah.
the fuses from some of these rockets, it's a fair distance because White were basically at the base of the base rocketing in, and now they're almost all inside of the base.
Or is that
So
someone on
someone
the
was
outside
doing
the
a
other
long
side?
distance rocketing,
No, they're not
not
rocketing.
Ian.
Is it Backy's doing it from outside the base? Is someone else out there?
Oh, it might be
Oh no, it's
Baki.
Arat Miko. It's Arat Miko. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
Arat Miko for the Mike Wazowski and co down that one as well. So they're hitting by two sides. That was a great shot onto Backy.
Yeah, so DW still alive at the very least. They've
Ooh,
got
111's going
four
behind them.
members alive right now.
On the roadside, 111's going behind Mireya. Mireya's down. And Mike Wazowski's down too. 111 has flanked both of them beautifully at the road. So that's two people that were down this end causing trouble. I think they had the rocket launcher over as well. And
I wasn't expecting White to actually play
that's
counter for this one because you'd imagine that
that's a
they're
huge
pretty
move.
happy to try and just base race for this one because they are on opposite sides of this base. But White took things into his own hands and actually took out a few of the raiders for Arut Miko. Speaking of Arut Miko, looks like they were able to get someone inside. That's going to be Igor coming in. And who is that? E-Stripers now pushing out of their base, finally getting out of their base to get involved in the action.
Well, did Coyote go down and manage to save themselves?
I think
Managed.
E-Stripers might have actually made it to the. Yeah, they took out a few beds of Team White's.
Coyote being res though.
But do they have the backup beds like Kittens had?
That's the thing. They might not. It's not often you take backup beds unless you've already had it done to you once. You know it's coming. Go again.
Yeah, that's going to slow them down a lot, especially with Deceive pushing in. No, wait, never mind. I thought Deceive was E-Stripers. Okay, they do have the backup beds. They got backup beds.
Yeah, that's good, sensible. But it is brave though to try and raid somebody in the shadow of someone else's base. But like, I know you were here first, but we're going to show you where it's done. It's like, well, then I'll just raid you. So it is asking for trouble. What White are doing? If it pays off, then they could. But say Arat Miko are in the base on the other side now, so let's go swing ourselves around.
Yeah, how quickly the tides turn on this raid because White was basically full controlling it. Arumiko actually ends up losing out on one as they try to take the rooftop here. DW have Toretto up top.
Got no family up there, Toretto. Toretto goes down.
Doesn't seem like they've got ladders though, so it's going to be difficult to actually get onto the rooftop here for Baki. DW with a member outside.
I'd be C4ing one of these corners out. Oh, jump down. Let's lower ourselves down. Has he gone through the gap or is... Yeah, so we've got a gap in there. Ooh. How much have we opened up in here? Not enough.
So it
is
looks
the
like
answer.
they went for the hallways on the outer shell for their large bulk of defense and slowing down the raiders. But for Rumiko, they're just going to go ahead and work their way through the core of this space right now, going for the splash, taking out a lot of doors here.
Making good progress on the base. There you go, laddering up. Up we go. How many doors are open?
And this might be their first look at the interior of the base, right? Because it was mostly white that was putting in the work initially before this raid got taken over by Arut Miko. So they're basically starting off from square one once again to try and really figure out this base. Oh, Yomin
Oh,
just peeked the wrong angle as he was making his way up that ladder, unfortunately.
yeah. 50-50 on looking left or right. Looked left, it was right. Feels bad. They are booming. Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think they got
we
your
can see through the
message,
door window,
Kaz.
so we can go through it. So if we can see through that red door window, there you go. There you go. So we're bombing all the side doors here. They are not messing around.
And they've split up their forces for Root Miko as they make their way through this space right now. White are still seemingly having a difficulty actually making their way back on in. Another team might have shown up for this one. We've got some Kakaperse members outside. You know that East Stripers is of course in the vicinity with their base just across the ways. So this is a large point of focus for 4 or 5 teams, basically half the lobby here.
Yeah, it's certainly impressive. And again, we've got 11 teams left, 52 minutes on the board to go. So we're making steady progress working our way through the teams. They will whittle each other down. I mean, I did think, DDW in 5th, they're doing well. And they are defending quite well. They're struggling with, say, 2 raid forces, fighting at both sides. White are here now
Yeah,
to
we've
give the
got
radar
Aru
a quick
Miko,
push
we've
as
got
well.
White, East Striper, maybe Baby. I think it is legitimately half the server still alive here, basically fighting over this base right now.
Which is just, honestly, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Now it's just a matter of time. It's about who actually finds it first.
Mm.
But currently, Aru Miko are the team inside of the base proper. Wyvern seems to be up top on the roof. Baki now. He's got to be careful. Ooh. This is just
Boom, boom,
absolute
boom.
chaos at this base.
I mean, they're doing the right things, but again, I mean, I don't know if TC's. I don't know. I've not had the Spidey instinct yet of it where TC would be. It doesn't feel like they're in the right sort of zones.
There are a lot of hallways for them to still work their way through, and sometimes some early dead ends. Oh, Igor, along with Baki on the top for Root Miko. I believe we might have had some more teams making their way into the bottom. No, that's just the defenders. DW trying
This
to.
feels this area gives me good vibes in terms of where TC might be. It feels a bit out of the way. Baki is backying and forthing. He's just all over the base. Pick a spot and raid it. Come on. I want to see some boom. I want to see a TC.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he doesn't have any C4 with
Mm.
how much time he's actually had. Oh wait, he's just found some. Okay, that's great. You can see how much quicker he can actually start raiding instead of going one rocket by one rocket, almost getting stuck there. There we go. Now starting
We
to make
can.
short work of all these hallways.
No. So with Mordor. Let's back at the base a second. We can come back in 1 moment. I just want to have a quick look at the map and see who's raiding who on the map. Let's bring that up to give you an overview. So you can see limit in terms of the bases. N7 areas where we are currently. E8's got a bit of action. Let's have a quick look at that. Deviate elsewhere on the map.
Oh, this is Habbo. Kittens did move on to Habbo. We were questioning what Kittens would do. Would they move on to raid Habbo or Papa? And they decided, well, Habbo, you tried to destroy our
Yeah.
raid platform. You successfully destroyed a
A
raid platform
grudge.
twice.
A grudge is a powerful thing in Rust. It's a beautiful
And
thing
especially
too.
when it's Kittens.
He's like, yeah, you did a thing to us. We object to that. Therefore, it's time to die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it was
nice
a
scouting
good
there
kill.
from the rooftop control out of Kittens.
There's 2 down though. Kittens have got 2 that need resin. There you go. That was nearly 3. That would have been funny. And
Oh.
Yato. Any second, Yato might find out. K, where you at? Could be the walling. Are they going to realize? No. Yeah. Execution.
They still have someone on the roof. Yeah, that's going to be Untitled up there. So that's not going to be the full seal coming out from Habbo. They almost got the full seal on the compound.
And to be fair, Papa have got a raid base, like a raid platform out there on that side, so we can have a look at that while they're doing that, because they are pummeling this wall. That's, what's that, 5-6 rockets in a row now.
Yeah, so
if we
everyone
take the
actually
camera
just
over to
pummeling from that
Papa's
side.
direction, just go and have a look at the angle they're taking.
Oh, sunshine.
Oh.
Papa
there
now.
you go. So
they got
Papa
control
have the
over
roof.
this raid.
A kitten's done. Have they got a raid bed here?
Wondering if someone was able to push out and get onto
Hmm.
the raid platform, or if they just moved without setting one up. I mean, you have to remember that they had to set up a lot of extra beds because of what Habbo did earlier. So they might have actually run out. And I think, yeah, you're right, Kaz.
Yeah.
I think kids
Let's
are
take a
done.
look at, let's take a look on the other side of the base if we can, Griffin, just to see on the if this Papa have got a raid platform out here on the right of us now. Is there anything around here with beds just a bit further right? There we go. Yeah. So Papa have got a raid platform over here. They've successfully been pushing. Let's take a look at the wall now in front of them, because they hit that with a good 4 or 5 shots. And yeah,
Yeah,
you can
they've
see.
got about 4 members inside. Kittens have respawned and are making their way back on in. Fahad getting picked up, but I don't see too many members of Habbo up and alive inside their base. It looks like it's just Sunshine, and I don't know if he's just AFK inside base or not. Seems like he might be outside in one of those bed pods instead of actually defending.
Yeah, let's go have a quick look inside there. So Papa have got the rooftop under control. Doors are pretty much, there's still plenty of doors in place. They are properly shut, which is good. Door discipline is important. And yeah, we're looking, considering there's been so much boom on the outside, we are looking pretty resilient, other than you've got a slight infestation of wide.
Yeah.
Wide might, oh! Now
So
that's
it's
a
a
big
Root
one.
Miko that ends up walking away with that one. That puts them into 5th place now with 163. But Kittens, with their consistent rating, still find themselves in 1st place. And they're also, of course, the beneficiaries of a lot of PvP in this area of the map. And so they have not been slowing down whatsoever. And Kittens looks like now have rooftop control away from Papa. So this ever back and forth battle between Papa and Kittens over the Habbo base will continue here as Papa regroup.
Yeah, and we can see daylight from side to side now, so that's a worry for the base. It's a matter of minutes now rather than surviving the event. I think I can't see this being left alone by Papa, and I can't see Kittens being chased off a second time. But I do wonder if Yato for Habbo is going to go out. There you go, chasing out Combat, doesn't win the fight, goes down in the trade, and now Wide's pushing in.
Oh, there we go. Sunshine getting
Yeah.
involved in the action, but he loses out on the 1v1 up against Wide, allowing him free access into the base. He doesn't have any C4. He doesn't have any boom, actually. We'll
I
see
wonder
if
they're
Ash
trading some
actually
C4.
brings him
Maybe.
any.
Yeah,
Fairhead doesn't
something.
have any boom on him either.
There we go. There's the rockets.
Yeah, it's going to be a little slow going for them until they can suss out where their boom ended up going here. But now things quieting down. There we go. We got one player inside the base with the rocket, but you can see when it comes to like these advent calendar doors and everything that you really do want to utilize the faster tools, right? You want to
Yeah.
have the C4s in place for this because you can see how
Yeah.
slow one rocketer
And I mean,
will make
in
progress.
terms of the old base style of the advent calendars, when it was just a wall of doors, it was more efficient in terms of the splash damage to rocket in between 4 doors, and you'd get the splash across 4. It was quicker than the C4ing. That was fine, but with the base and the meta, that meta first kill, oh, it's a great kill. That is a great kill. What was the meta was that when I started casting for Base Invaders, end of 2020, we're nearing the middle of 2024, and we've adapted to now hiding the Advent Calendar style inside the walls. And so with that style changing, it's like you say, the speed difference has now gone. The efficiency of using rockets, there's more common to use them to get them in terms of loot. So you might as well use them. It's free boom. But the C4 is what's really going to make the difference. And when we see teams like Kittens do so well, it's because they blitz in with the rockets. Sorry, they punch a hole with the rockets, then they blitz in with the C4, and then once they're in, they then splash because everything's a target. But to do the
Yeah.
core work to get them to where they need to go, they are C4ing.
Rating efficiently.
Yeah.
And you definitely need that when it comes to fives, right? You're limited in numbers. If you've got one player controlling outside, that only leaves you with four to go in and do the demolition on the inside. So you have to be fast. You see how quickly the counters come out. Habo, for them, because of the counters, they've been able to push out at some points and get a small semblance of defense going. Now they do have more members alive than they have previously. There's four players up right now. Sunshine inside of the base, but they still have to get rid of Papa, who have full control over their roof currently. Oh, where did that flank
That
come
was
from?
that was some top shooting. Kittens are respawning behind. So was that? Yeah.
Was that Papa from the roof? Taking out three members of Kittens?
So you might be able to say they pop it off. This is why I'm not allowed to cast as much as I do production. Leave me alone. Kittens are still sitting pretty at the top of the leaderboard, though. They've got a insurmountable rather, of 241 compared to second place Kozlik 188. Kakaperse now in third on 180 as well. They've jumped up quite nicely. So I'll have to
It's
take
a
a look at them
50
soon.
It's a 53-point lead for Kittens right now. And we have to take note that Kozlik and Kittens both have two TCs. Kozlik, though, probably on their third raid as well. So one TC and a decent amount of PvP will get them pretty close with plenty of time still left here for the raid phase. I mean, we still have 41 minutes to go. So one
For
or two
me,
more raids after this.
this is the perfect time to raid Kittens. Just because it's middle of the event, nobody's expecting the middle of the event to be when they get targeted as the leaders. You expect that you'll whittle down the weaker teams, and then as it's the last six, then suddenly Kittens go, okay, maybe one of these guys is going to take on us. Maybe. But until we've dropped a couple more teams, I think they'll be thinking, yeah, we're fine to be roaming out away from base. And that's precisely when I'd want to be going around with minicops over Scrappy, more likely Mini though, and just scouting bases, taking note of who's where, and just causing trouble because somebody's got to have left a base undefended.
Yeah, Habo just sealed up their compound on the Kittens side. So that's going to be some boom that they're going to have to expend to make their way back on the other side for Papa. I believe they still have exposure on that compound, and they have the roof control over the Habo base with Fehed and Wide up top. For Habo, they have not called it quits quite yet. They still have Sunshine, Dimitri alive in the base. They've lost out on one more defender, but they haven't given up. That's the important thing on raid defense. We know how quickly that sometimes people can lose momentum, lose morale when it comes to a raid defense. And all the indicators here are showing that they haven't given up quite yet.
So for now, they're doing a decent bit of work trying to get the compound repaired up, but there is a gap in. Oh, might have lost application here. Be with us a second. Yeah, we're going to be right back quickly. Unfortunately, Rust has died a death. So we're just going to quickly boot that back up and take a couple of minutes to get a drink while it does that. So bear with us. We're back with you momentarily. And we're back. Thank you very much for waiting us patiently. Really sorry about that, but game crashes do happen. And as it happens, we are very close to the 30-minute mark. And nobody else has gone out in the time we've been gone. So that is something. But
Yeah,
we'll
Habbo
look at the
are still
scoreboard.
defending their base here, and they've done a
Yeah,
decent amount of repairs basically on this side of the base. I don't know how much work they were able to do on the Papa side of the
the
base.
compound's only done. Yato's putting the compound back in.
Oh, he left the gap. He left the gap.
Can't fix that gap, so might have to wedge something in. But yeah, that's not bad considering. You
Yeah,
can hear the repair work,
yeah.
so has he managed to bridge the gap there? Let's get a bit closer to that gap just to see. Oh, you can see it now. You can see it. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a gap there. Yeah, just it's a shame landmines aren't in this. Just
With the
yeah,
state the
yeah.
base was
I
in, though,
think
you take it. You take this because they were on I would say pretty dire straits. Papa had full control over their roof. They were basically contained to the bottom two floors, or yeah, like the middle two floors
yeah.
of their base. But now they're back on the rooftops. They've repaired. They've basically sealed the compound. And now Papa and Kittens are left kind of wondering, what do we do from here? Do we continue this raid? I have to wonder if they're maybe running dry in terms of sulfur.
Yeah, at the moment it's a steady back and forth battle. These guys. I wonder how much I can see kittens below. I wonder how much effort kittens are going to keep putting into this because I can see untitled there. Papa are the ones. Oh, here we go. Mini on the outside. There you go. How much effort they're going to put in? That much effort. They are there, ready and waiting. I mean, need to learn to fly, but they are building.
Yeah, they're just resetting up this platform now, and utilizing the natural uh, geography of the map, the natural cover of that rock that will never break. So basically, you can't just snipe it with a rocket from the rooftop of a Habbo Hotel over there. So there's going to be another approach coming out from Kittens right now as they regroup. But again, with how much time they've had to repair their base, you have to imagine that a lot of the walls are up to a decent amount of health. So they're almost back at square one. Four Kittens here, Habbo. Now they have to make that decision once again. How do we push out from here? Who do we go after first? Kittens, and they're now back up to their compound while they're actually busy dealing with Papa.
We're in a decent spot, but again, at this point they need. There's less than half an hour now. They need to commit heavily to this attack. They've got to punch in a hole. They've got the hole there in the compound, which is good. Personally, I'd be taking all those walls out. Really, just rip open the compound. Anything you can rebuild, we can take away. Take that confidence out of their sails. I mean, for heads coming around the flank here, though, first, are they not noticing him? Because
Oh,
he's shooting at the Rocketeers. Just
yeah, the quick response for coming out from Kittens too. They are on high alert at the very least. You know, if I had a
oh,
huge
there we go.
opportunity to take out one of the defenders will go down now as Kittens make their way back into the base. But they got to get through these walls once more. Going to drill down this corner. I wonder how much of the progress that they made from their first round they'll remember. But for them, they'll
Let's have a quick look at
continue
that
to actually
triangle
pummel from the side.
in case, because that they might know TC's there or something, perhaps. So let's have a peek in there and see what's there. Door's gone.
Yeah,
Getting a
Kittens
sweep
now.
around the outside.
Surprisingly, yes. Clearing out this compound, actually. Laser focus on this wall for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they have an idea. They think, because they had a general idea of what the base layout was, right? That it's going to be kind of one of these long corridors that the outer honeycomb is going to have. That this is our best bet. But they are definitely not utilizing their numbers to efficiently get through this base.
Yeah, they're pushing up. They're pushing up okay though. Kittens are holding the ground as a little cluster. Cougar trying to peel the gap. I mean, they're blowing the same corners of notes as well on each side. So I wonder if that's I wonder if they've gone through enough base they realise that maybe TC has to be in one of these hiding spots, or if there's like an access path route that they know they need to get these corners out to occupy the site. There's bits of repairs coming through from Habbo as well. They're trying to control it.
Yeah, for Papa, they're just continuing to spam the rockets right now. Habbo getting the repairs down, but again, these walls are not repair blocked, build blocked. So as soon as you get it up, it is not going to be full HP. So it does make it a little bit easier for the Raiders to get through right now. Kins are starting to take their time at this pace. So I'm wondering if that's an indicator of like a lack of boom for them because, typically here, base invaders, you just want to throw it all down, shoot all the rockets, throw all the C4. But they are taking their time with this one. So this could mean that they're maybe running dry. You have to remember that there were a number of unsuccessful events, which eventually led to them taking this lead and getting the TCs. But there were 2, maybe 3 times where they were wiped with boom. And it was Habbo that ended up taking away a lot of the boom from them.
So just there we go. So the radar just lagged a little bit. Kittens got themselves inside. Cougar has not realised that keep moving forwards in the doorway. And the Kittens players are looking and trying to gear back up. There's a lot of boom coming from that other side of the base, though. As Habbo get themselves back on the rooftop. They're starting to fight back on this side as well. Yato, head to head. Yato wins 2v1, one at a time. Yato wins, takes them out. Fahed gets the kill back onto Yato, and now Papa in control of the compound, and Kittens are having to spawn all the way back over the road and gear up yet again.
What if the TC is inside that bed pod that we saw one of the Hollow members peek their heads out from? What if it's inside this 3x1 on the left hand side? Because everyone's put the main focus on the inside of the base. No one says even touch these doors or even approach it at
Yeah,
all.
I mean, I'd have blown the walls on either side of that, just have a straight look through. Let
Just
me
to
in,
make
let me
sure.
be nosy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't not have done so. It's, I mean, logically, it's beds because it's so evenly placed. It's beds. There's no triangles. You'd want TC in a triangle, really, but you never know.
With all this action from Kittens, though, it has given Pop an opportunity to get inside. It looks like a lot of the Hobbo members, their numbers have been dwindled down. They do still have someone on the roof at the very least as Kittens continue their approach into the space right now. Oh, I hear a Heli coming in. Who is that? It's going to be Papa.
I think they brought more rockets, which is important because rockets win raids.
Their base isn't that far off that they needed to take a scrappy over here. I thought they were well within distance.
True, but I mean, I know people who take a cab to go 5 minutes walk, so these things happen. We can just judge them. I do want to have a quick look in a second though. Once they stop being entertaining, I want to have a quick look at the map just to see if there's any other raid action going on because we have got 10 teams. 3 of them are here, admittedly, but it does leave another 7 to be curious about. Let's have a zoom out. So action in 06, any action? Yeah. So that's 2 raids then. Let's have a quick look at 06 and come back here in a second. We might have just got lucky actually because I know we came over here and there's nothing going on. Somebody else boomed nearby. So let's just have another check on the map just in case, because it might be the base at N5 that might have just been hit.
Might have been maybe someone just throwing an errant rocket over.
True. Joseph is lurking outside. Oh, hang on.
And a control actually pushing onto E Striper's base
And
there
White.
through the compound.
Is that an Ayoka I heard?
Oh, what? White ends up getting taken. No, that's going to be E
Spidey
Striper going
sense.
down. Okay.
Yeah, the Spidey sense. So yeah, there it was. So just to check on the radar though, nothing was showing up for this, was it?
No. So we were completely caught off guard by that one.
So
And
either
that
that was
brings us-
really quick or the radar's knackered.
Well, no, because the compound's down. Like there are
Well, that's just
holes
a loot
all
box.
across the compound.
But still, that's another one. So again, we're going in reverse order though. So East Striper out. We've got 9 teams left. I mean, we can actually press F now and close the leaderboard down to the top 10 because we've only got 9 teams left. There you go. Shrink that for the viewers. Yeah, that's, yeah, we might as well go back to our previous raid then, I think, Jameson. Take
Yeah.
ourselves back over to the action because it's the only raid going, but 9 teams left. And now that one's gone, I can imagine White in second place. They're only 6 points off Kittens.
Yeah. So this
I'm
is
expecting. Oh,
Yeah, this is a super important raid now for Kittens. The implications of it, of course, is that right now they're only leading by 6, so they're going to want that comfortable lead. White can easily overtake them just off of PvP alone. So the plus 40 from the TC is so important. Habo still having the sense of of at least repairing the base along the way. This is what their third, fourth go around rebuilding this base.
they still haven't. They've prepared a little bit of compound. Again, it's all wooden walls rather than the stone walls, which doesn't surprise me because normally teams use enough stone to build a compound. That's it.
Oh
Are they
wow.
trying to rocket him over here?
I think Papa did. There was a really wide wraparound from Papa, but
He's
Kittens
down
had
anyway.
Kittens had the foresight to utilize utilize the natural cover, the natural rock formations as cover for their bed platform.
That's a big flank going on here. Is this naked flanking or actual flanking?
He's
Actual
got a
flanking.
gun.
That's
He's a
geared.
kid.
Yeah.
Is he just like scrapping for loot? Like they're just running out of stuff and they're like, hey, remember Kittens raided a base all the way over here. Maybe there's some stuff for us to pick up and bring back
I
home
mean, you
because we
say
are.
what we normally describe is how around the 40, 50 minute mark, teams tend to have that sort of respite and go again and get some more gear in. How about we were talking around the 41st minute mark that they were at the point where I was saying I think somebody like Kozlik should be raiding Kittens. So that's nearly 25 minutes ago that I was saying that, and all that while Habbo has been getting raided. So Habbo haven't had that chance to restock in terms of base materials, in terms of ammo. They might, yeah, like I say, they might be having to grub with somebody and 4-man defend because they are just struggling. So, um, say Papa on the outside still pushing. Kittens are now on the roof. It's looking very, very, very difficult for them to survive this one, and it'll be a shame really because they've put up such a good fight so far, but ultimately just the war of attrition, they haven't been able to hold off, and they will lose out. And I just wonder, it would be hilarious if Habbo did take loss here, but like if it went to Papa, because that would jump Papa into 4th place, just behind Kozlik. So it'd be Kittens, White, Kozlik, and Papa, and they'd be right back in the action.
Yeah, and speaking of like maybe running dry, I mean, this is uncharacteristically slow of Kittens in terms of
Mm,
rating. So they might be running dry on Boom themselves. We know that Hobble were able to successfully counter them uh, twice, I think, at a raid just not too far away from here, much earlier on throughout the raid phase. But now it's all the teams involved in this basically seemingly running dry. Even Papa, they stopped their rockets from the outside or maybe they pushed in with a decent number of players. It looks like the fight outside, and they're gonna try. Hey, we've tried everything else about the base, but I don't see a TC in there.
I mean, they're pushing it.
Might just need the
Yeah,
loot.
we take loot. We like loot.
I mean, that's a natural spot for like Habo, right? Who were cleaning up a lot of players in the inside of their compound to just kind of depot whatever loot that they find to keep it away from them. So maybe
Mm,
can come upon a treasure trove to continue this raid.
yeah. I do wonder as well, as a slight digression, I wonder how many people watching the stream and Rust players in general, given that age group tends to be younger adults, late teens, early 20s. I wonder how many of them actually played Habbo Hotel when it came out. They might not know what Habbo is. It
Yeah.
might be just skipped a generation. So uh, interesting. But
Yeah, that's the
uh,
thing though, like, this is a lot of EU players though, and I feel like Habbo Hotel had a much more larger presence in the international market, right? And a lot of
I mean,
the
it was
EU
quite.
players
It was.
can skew a little older.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, it was quite big business in the UK. I remember I was one of the few that just my parents were like, "No, not giving you any money for a weird computer game online." Whereas all my friends were like, "Yeah, I've got this and I've got this," and like, oh man, it was a moment. It was you had to be there, but it was
It
yeah,
was,
as Griffin says,
you know,
defining moment in my childhood. But it was
but there
that was
were a
the
lot
days
of
of that.
moments with Habbo Hotel, you know, pools closed, all that such. We don't need to go too in depth with that. But
It
yeah,
was, it was, it was the internet
if
coming
you
into its
draw the
own.
attention of B, then like you were definitely more than just a spark in the imagination of the internet, right? Like,
Yeah, the glory days of Habbo Hotel, of RuneScape coming out. That
wait,
was
did someone repair and put doors down out there for Habbo in the bed pod?
it's a little bit of repairs, not much, but a little bit. But I mean, look how little is left of the base. We've ripped it open, which I think that means it must be low down.
Yeah, there's very few doors remaining the that the TC can be behind this point. I'm trying to see
Yeah,
if
bullying
there are
these
too
after
many
we
Habbo
said they
members
should blow their
alive.
way in. They've bullied. I find it hilarious. Let's just have a peek inside this because they've opened this door as well in the little hut here. They've
Now
cleared
they're
this out.
trying
This
to
was just loot, yeah.
blow through
Yeah,
the
I'm
wall with
wondering maybe that maybe
rockets.
yeah, maybe they think it was hidden, like because that's quite clever. It's sealed there rather than it looks like it's a connecting doorway in and out. It's not. It's
Y-
sealed. So maybe TC's in a hiding spot behind there, and that's what they're just clicking onto. Is like, oh, actually, you've masked a corridor as being a TC spot.
There's also this bed pod on the other side.
Hmm.
It's been repaired with
I will be
not
angry if
much.
TC's in a triangle here.
Yeah. It is a little suspicious that you've got um the honeycomb on one bed pod and not the other.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't know. You're just trying to guess the base logic, right? And kids,
Yeah.
they tried to do
Oh,
that
hang on.
earlier. We
Doing
saw when
behind
they
us.
made that
Doing
last
behind us.
approach.
Is that are they losing? Who's doing what?
Oh, it's Habo actually coming in for the flank on
Are they trying to
Kins.
rocket? Are they trying to rocket the beds out? Or were they trying to fight back? I don't know. It's hard to tell. There was just I heard explosions. I panicked.
Yeah, Sunshine's pushed out.
I can't believe though there were no other raids going on. Like I'm almost tempted to. Yeah, actually, you know what, Griffin? Just have a quick flyby of the bases on the east side of the map for us, please.
Oh, there we
Oh, there
go.
you
One
go.
just popped
Oh
up.
nine.
One just popped up.
Yeah.
What do we got? It's gonna be White actually.
Maybe. Oh,
Is it
none.
Nerm by himself?
Solo rating.
Where is
Find
White?
us. Yeah, they must be. White must be at rating. Oh, there you go. There's an armored door. Oh, he's
Oh, he's
buying the
getting rid
beds
of a
out.
lot of beds
Oh my
too.
god,
That's huge.
he's
Armored
so.
door?
There's two armored doors. This is crazy. If Nerm takes out second place White, then maybe Baby would go second. Yeah, Kakapursa is looking as well.
Oh, he's gonna drill
Yeah, I mean,
down instead of
the
going through
beautiful
the
part is,
doors here.
yeah, feel free to peek the floor, Griffin. There's a C4 on it. We can go through it. Let's see if he's right. Oh, it's doors. Okay. So he's got the right idea.
Oh, this is gonna be ripe for splashing with the rockets as well. Armored door all the way at the bottom.
That's some C4 in.
Is
That's
it
another
more
armor.
armored? Why is he drilling this far?
This man hates doors.
Wow. He's got like all the C4 left in the server.
That true. They might be their own C4s. Yeah.
He did get a lot of loot boxes there. We've reached Foundy. What are you gonna do, Nerm?
I like the fact that our.
Oh,
Oh, hang on.
I think that's a
Are they back on the roof?
defender.
I think he might be done. Yeah.
Kakaperse
Oh
are here
no.
now.
Yeah. Oh, counter raid.
Okay, there are
But they
2
white
players,
are
I think,
back though.
alive for
White are
white.
back.
Yeah, you got 111 outside and Deceive inside. Kakaperse are basically out here in force. Maybe Baby showing their faces for this one too.
10 kill streak for Nikita and Kittens, by the way. They're extending their lead in the first place with the PvP points. While fighting at Habo's base. But Habo, with the raid defense points, are closing in quite quickly onto white. So it could be an interesting one where Habo take over white just by pure PvPing with Kittens.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you can get up to 40 raid defense points, right?
Yeah, you can get a TC's worth of raid defense. It takes a little while, and once you've capped, if the damage is still coming to your base, you don't get any more, and it doesn't count until after the raiding has stopped. So I think it's like about 15, 20 seconds it has to take to of combat free before it counts. So yeah, Habo could be sitting on a stack of points waiting to jump into second place and be quite close to Kittens in first.
Yeah. There's a world where actually Habo can overtake them. The TC or with raid defense points maxed out and about what 12 PvP kills to
Yeah,
catch up the kittens.
sure.
How crazy a win would that be? I don't know if I've ever seen that. Oh,
We that is unfortunate. The C4 splash blows his legs out, but again they're holding.
16 still
16 run away
alive.
from
111 chasing him down, and it looks like he gets
Oh,
cleaned up.
unfortunate.
There's still a raider in here
Somebody somewhere.
somewhere. Yeah, on this shooting floor. I'm not sure
Where are you? Let's go through that. It's of course it's the one door that was closed. Oh, Joseph. No, Joseph. No. Oh dear. Well,
Looks like a successful defense.
Yeah,
It was
they
only
get
a
some.
solo raider. I can't even remember who the original team was.
It wasn't. It was yeah. So it was maybe Baby. Maybe Baby in sixth place went in solo with Nerm. Nerm then gets countered by Kakaperse in fourth. 2 of them members try it, fail. And now, who's this?
I think that's just a successful raid defense coming out from Kozlik
Yeah.
there. Pushing out, chasing after Kakaperse.
That's a good move. It's interesting as well, though. I mean, I mentioned this in 2 weeks ago on my broadcast I last did about how so few teams are now building around launch site. It's still, to me, a good monument. Same for the Dome. They're still good places. I get why. Ooh, well spotted from the cameraman. Kittens are not here. Now, let's just check. Are their beds all gone? I think they are.
Root Miko might have come in and just cleared it all out. Bags going down. So I think everyone's just completely run out of resources when you can't even make beds anymore.
And
that's a rough sign.
And this is what I was going to come to as well. Like I say, not enough people seem to be building up monuments to sustain the loot they need for the type of fighting they're doing. But also, when we had like a last 12 minutes period of the last NA show, and I found a team just messing around building stuff out of wood and bonfires. So I actually got a gun and just killed the guy and was like, I'm not interfering with the event because you're not trying. You will learn. Like, just it was so strange to see, and it was a little bit disappointing. But I get the frustration of that event because these people are so far away from people. I sort of got it, but you've still got to make the effort. Go and fight someone, get some PvP points. The whole point here is to be competitive. That the time they were wasting 12 minutes of doing stuff, they could have easily gotten themselves a mini or a scrappy and gone and got a handful of PvP points. And I think it's the same sort of thing here. Is like if I'm a team like Kittens now, obviously, you need a bit of a regroup. Pick on someone else. Don't waste your time here with the Habo base because Habo are fighting too hard. Just go and pick a new target. And speaking of new targets, it's Kittens.
And for Kittens, honestly, this is nice for them. Free raid defense points and some PvP naturally coming to them. Wait, they're moving now onto the Papa base. But I mean, this base has been untouched. So with 6 minutes to go, you need to just pummel. Their best bet is just the pummel.
Let's have a look in the doorway there. Can we have a look through the doorway and see if they can see windows? Yes, let's get close and have a shoulder shot here, Griffin, if we can. Okay, he shut the door on FX. Rude.
As he says that, yeah.
Yeah, let's look over one of the shoulders over here then while they're doing the rooftop. There you go. Yeah, the second I said it, I said it earlier while I was driving a friend of mine back. We'd been to see some university friends up in the far north of England, which is a delightful amount of driving to be in a horrible place. And yeah, just every time I said something like, "Oh, I don't think the traffic lights will change," they changed. That person doesn't seem to want to move into our lane. They moved. So it's been one of those days. Everything I seem to say, the thing I don't want to happen happens.
It's the power of the caster's curse, man.
Yeah,
It even,
it's strong.
carries over into real life.
Yep. Affects you day to day. Don't become casters, kids. It's dangerous.
Oh yeah, especially not now.
Oh, there's Boom behind us somewhere. Let's have a quick check on the radar.
I think that's back over at
back at
not too
EA?
far off Hobo's
Oh.
base.
Oh, hello.
Wait, here's
Hello.
Kozlik.
So hang on, maybe Baby are outside taking over Papa's spot. Kozlik are eyeing it up. No, they're going someone else's base. Are they going to think? Are they going to? Yeah, they're going to counter the Papa base.
They're gonna try. I don't think
There's
they're
only
gonna
two
be
of them.
successful.
They might just be scouting as a 2-player.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go.
I mean, if the
Maybe-
team's got enough C4 and they can see who's fighting where, they know who's not fighting in other places. So, they could technically zerg with some C4 if they've got it. This is very brave going over so close to kittens. Are they going for it? Let's catch them up a bit.
Okay.
Let's go for it, let's go for it.
All right, they got to be fast. There's only 4 minutes remaining here. We do have rocket launchers on the back of one. Oh wait, no. Both of them have rocket launchers.
Yeah.
And we got C4.
So, I mean, from the look of it, there's got to have been some damage before. Yeah. Griffin says they're taking their time. 3.5 minutes. I'm hoping they have a rough idea of where TC might be. Because that would afford them the sensibility of, just getting in the right spot. But let's get in a bit closer. Let's see if they're in the right spot. That looks like a jump up, jump down.
Wait, that launcher skin is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's the Year of the Dragon launcher. It's like a firework launcher. It's great. That sound effect is
sounds amazing.
It's got a punch to it, hasn't it? It's like
It's definitely meaty. I mean, the rocket launcher already sounds meaty, and then you add that on top of it. That's great. Kittens now, I think they've sent a member to go back for the defense. I mean, I don't know, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Don't have to defend much.
How long? I mean, if kittens go out here to Kozlik, yeah, there you go.
I respect the effort, though. We try to set up the stakes, and I mean, yes, the stakes are important.
The cast the curse. I mean, yeah, I was going to say, even if Kozlik did sneak a TC there, Kozlik got up to 278. That would only put them third behind White and Habbo. So, obviously, still admirable to take out the first place team, and you've got that feather in the cap saying, look, you weren't good enough to win because we took you. But at the same time, yeah, it would have been a struggle.
And it's only going to take a TC for White to be able to get a sneaky victory at the end here, but I don't know if they're making much headway yet.
Yeah,
I think they were raiding a base before, right? Or were they back at home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were back at home because they had to defend for a little bit.
But this is where my frustration comes in a bit, though, as well. And maybe it's partly because we've got such a big map, and maybe we need to start thinking about shrinking the map size a little bit. But there's also just the spread of teams is such an east-west side thing that we've seen people just bounce around in their own little circles, and not quite as many raids as we would have hoped to see. We've had some good raids, don't get me wrong. We've had some good raids, and they've been strongly contested by 2, 3, 4 teams. But just the amount, normally we'd have a good 3 or 4 raids at any given time, and we haven't really had that in this NA session. And that's, it's afforded us more time to look over certain raids. But I just wonder, a team like maybe Baby has been so aggressive. Somebody could have picked on their base while they were out. A team like NA Control, I don't really rate them much. I don't really think they've been tested. And yet here they are, 9th place, still surviving at the 15. A minute to go. Could Kittens not have given up on Habbo earlier and gone and bullied them?
Oh, they 100% could have. 100% could have,
Yeah.
but that's the never give up attitude
Yeah,
of like Raiders,
exactly.
right?
And
Like
and and,
as
that,
long
and
as
that's
someone's
the
alive, the raid's still alive.
yeah, and that's sort of the point we come back to is like in terms of like intelligent decision making. Oh, who's gone that? Let's go for the roof. Ooh, Aramiko.
Hail Mary play for them, but a TC here would only put them up to what? Yeah, just below Habo. So maybe a fourth place finish for them if in 30 seconds they can find this TC. But you have to imagine they use this reprieve to craft up all the boom that they currently have
I
right
will use
now.
my powers for good and say I don't think they will find TC.
Thank you. Thank you. I wonder how many of these walls actually repaired up to full
Oh,
from
he's cleaned up.
Habo. Wait, that's maybe Baby coming in to steal this raid with 5
That's
seconds
great.
left to
3 seconds
go.
to go. Yeah, it's done. It is done. But that was an incredible comeback then from a baby just to clean up. And there we go. Kittens are today's NA winners. 347 points. A good TC gap between them and second place. That was a nice win for them.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised, right? Typically, when it comes to base invaders, when a team ends up with two early successful raids, right? Kittens had two TCs, I think, within the first 30 minutes or so of raid phase. Typically, you're able to snowball that a little bit harder, but they did run into a lot of opposition, particularly here from Habo. Not just on the defense, but before that, Habo was the team that was coming in for the counter raids on them and slowed them down immensely when they're on their second raid. And you have to imagine it also depleted a lot of their resources in that. And that did, you would have to imagine, contribute to their ability to defend up against Kittens and basically defend for the last hour of raid phase. So Habo did some things right and ultimately find themselves in third place because of it. You can see the discrepancy between them and White. It's only a 5 point difference. So there was a world where if Habo didn't have to defend the entire time, maybe they could have been a bit more active with the loot that they were able to take off of Kittens and get into some raids themselves. But for Kittens, with the two raid defenses, with 217 kills, find themselves in first place with a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, and for a team, I say Nikita was top of that team, clearly popping off in this session. One of those ones below is Deathwing. I'd presume untitled. Normally, Deathwing is one of the top two kills on any team that he's on, and it shows. They're good raiders, they are good PvPers, they got a very comfortable KDA. You're loving life. Let's take a quick look at Team White then in second place.
Yeah,
Shocked to no
similar
one.
story.
Kayate. Kayate on top. Who'd have thought it?
Yeah, similar story. Two raids completed, two raid defenses. It seems like it came down to just a difference in kills and a little bit off of how many raid defense points they ended up getting here. So, yeah, a very, very close finish. You can see it's a 40-point difference between Kittens and Whites ultimately, but both teams struggling on their third raid. And you can see, like, when it comes into these 5v5s, like, your raids can easily get countered. I mean, one person goes down, that's 20% of the team. So your manpower just drastically drops if a counter comes in and takes out one or two members.
Yeah, for sure. Let's keep moving through the list then. Let's have a quick look at Habo. Cougar, again, not a surprise. 55 kills topping the team. No raids for the Habo, 3 defenses though. And this, Jameson, is what we were saying as well about in terms of being held at that 40-point ransom for the raid defenses. 3 raid defenses, they were getting hit so often. Another day, those raids were broken up enough to get them more points. And Habo's 302 possibly could have been realistically very close to Kitten's 347 with just a few more breaks in the play between being raided by just Kittens and multiple teams at once. So I'm pretty impressed they actually kept a very similar KD, just 3 kills less than their deaths.
It It looks like they weren't able to loot anything, like heli crates or get any hard points. So yeah, it's an 80 points that they got across 3 raid
Yeah.
defenses. If they maxed out on all the raid defense points, they would have actually tied on Kids. It came down to that the not maxing out on all 3 raid defenses. So
Yeah.
it was very close. There was a shot. There was a shot.
Well, yeah, because I know actually they would have won because they've got 222 points from kills. 120 would have come from full max out raid defenses. That's 442. So they'd be 5 short. Hackable crates looted, 1. 10 points. They would have won by 5.
That's kind of crazy that it
So
could have come
yeah,
down to raid
that,
defenses without a single TC
yeah,
taken.
that is wild. So there you go, and see, and everything would have been coming up sunshine in that beautiful, beautiful cottagecore base.
And
Let's have
also,
a quick
just
look.
looking at the kill spread across them, like 55, 53, 49, and 46. The living witch licks. You have to imagine he was probably
Builder,
the
gotta be.
builder. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was the one repairing the base, so he just wasn't able to get involved in the PvP for Team Habo. But man, that is a commendable effort. Being able
mm,
to basically raid defense the entire time throughout raid phase.
for sure. Kakapersa then, the Finnish team. See what they got up to. Again, 3 raid defenses, positive KDA though. Yarpi 48, Joseph 47, 16 on 46, Builder 16 on 34. And let's have a go at this one.
Yeah,
Kazuka
it seems like a similar story.
Velitavaisi.
219 kills. That's only 3 off from what Habo had. So
Mm,
it's very similar, but it looks like their raid defenses were much faster. And they were able to clean up those raids. So I mean, there's a world where Kaka Paris, they could have had a great day as well if they could have transitioned from the raid defenses into raids of their own.
so interestingly, they got 349 points if they'd maxed out. Plus, then they got 6 points from Heli crates. They would have been 2 short of kittens. So just goes
Two
to show
teams.
how
There were two
they
teams that could have possibly taken the W.
Yeah. So
Without a raid
Habo
completed.
could have won it. Habo could have won it ahead of Kittens by 5. Kittens would have been ahead of third place Kakaperse by 2. That would be first and third would have raid defended their way to the titles, which is crazy. But again, it just shows the importance of good base building, good communication. These teams have been raid defending. They've also had very similar kills. That's not by chance. That's coordination.
Yeah, and that is a point you do really have to stress that communication during raid defense is so difficult. I mean, anyone who's ever been raided in Rust knows how quickly comms could break down when your screen's consistently shaking, when there's boom going off. It's hard to hear anyone. Everyone's screaming. Maybe someone's tilting and going off on Discord. So it goes to show that they did keep their heads and wits about them. So congratulations, Kakaperse, coming in 4th place. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the board. Kozlik coming in 5th place. 2 raids completed, 2 raid defenses. So another similar story to what happened to Team Kins and Team White. But for Kozlik, they just were not able to get involved in as many fights as other squads were. So there's a pretty large discrepancy in the points from kills.
Yeah, they struck early, got 2 early raids. We're looking very strong with Kittens early doors. And then as the raid phase got longer and longer into it, they just kept getting bogged down in other fights. So it was a little bit tricky for them. But, a team with people like them, these are regulars in Base Invaders. They haven't slacked. This is just, they've got caught up in the source and just had a battle of it. And, 147 kills, not an insignificant amount. And, yeah, Kozlik had a strong event, finishing a decent scoreline. 251s, pretty average for a top 5 finish. So they'll be quite satisfied with that. Let's have a quick run through of the remaining teams, those 6, 7, 8, 9. Just have a quick look through them. Arat Miko, 35, 34, 33. Again, consistency, 1 raid, 1 defense. Bit negative on the KDA, but they did get a Heli down. They did get 5 crates themselves. So they played the game properly. They got themselves stuck in, particularly a bit more in the attack phase. But not everyone's a raiding team.
I thought they had gotten more points from the hard point, but maybe they never really had full access to it. So only in 6th place. Maybe Baby, they're in 7th place, only off by 1 point themselves. 2 raid defenses, most of it coming from PvP. 191 points for them. For Papa, who find themselves in 8th. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. No raids completed,
64.
no raid defenses.
Yeah,
just pure PvP.
Just pure PvP. I'd say 64 kills for Comma, 45 for Wide, 43 for Ash, 34 for Head. I'm surprised for Head didn't get as many as some of the others above, just because everywhere I looked he was there. But again, being a bit more of a seasoned Head, and obviously players change names. Some of these players might be players I know and don't recognize with these names. Might have been on, or equally, the spotter. The Head might have been a bit more cautious and saying, right, you push that way, I'll push this way, and it benefit teammates. You don't know. But so regular player in the Base Invaders events, and normally does pretty well like this. So no surprise Papa managed to survive. I honestly thought they looked pretty strong. Like, I know 8th place, you're going, well, it's not bad because they finished the event, but 8th still respectable given that they had Kittens and Habbo and a few other people on the ropes quite a few times. There were plenty of like head-to-head 5v5 fights that they came out the winner of. So, you know, they definitely not a team to be ignored and put down.
Yeah, and putting in his context, remember that Papa were basically getting countered at the raids by Kittens and by Habbo, our teams in first and third, respectively. So if things had gone the other way, you know, you have a 40-point swing from either team, you can easily find themselves well within the rights in the top three. For NA Control, our final team that survived throughout the raid phase. Go ahead and take a look at them. 2 raid defenses, 141 kills, not quite a 1-to-1 in terms of KDA, but still good effort, especially in a lobby as strong as this one. So let's go ahead and say congratulations to our top 9 teams that ended up surviving. It is Kittens that walk away with that 1 TC victory over Team White, 347 to the 307. So congratulations, Kittens. Well played throughout NA. Also, were involved in EU earlier today. And Kaz, any final words before we close out the day?
Yeah, I honestly, Kittens with a double win today. Deathwing back on track. So yeah, you know, maybe this is the start of another run, particularly as you know we're back on the fortnightly base invaders now. We've been monthly, used to be weekly. We're starting to pick up the pace again, and notice as soon as we've picked up the pace again, Deathwings picked up the wins again. So that form might be building. We might be seeing the start of another win streak. So definitely tune in 2 weeks' time. The date of that obviously will be the 5th of May for EU and NA events on them. In the meantime, we've been your broadcast team. I'm Kaz. That has been Jamerson and Grifftastic on the observing and production. And remember, you can sign up for any Base Invaders events through the Base Invaders Discord. Get yourself in. Deadline is about 30 minutes before the events themselves, so there's a pretty late time to sign up on. You've got plenty of time to do that. EU, pretty packed at the moment, but there's always more space for now an NA event. So if you're brand new to it, you think maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not good enough, get yourself in the NA event, give it a whirl, get involved. And you can watch all of our videos back and see exactly what we're advising teams to do. Don't build on top of each other. Make sure your compound's built properly. Make sure your base hasn't got any wood bits. You know, there's so many simple things that teams do, and you'd last longer than half an hour. So don't be afraid to get involved. And there is every chance that maybe you sneak your way through and win some money.
Yeah. GG's, everybody.
Yep, that'll do it for us, though. So thanks to you all for watching. As always, we appreciate your support. And yeah, tune in next time for us. See you later.